Bit of a detour video here, but what do you get when you mix treading a whole bunch of stimulants and a radicalized mindset that makes you think that you are doing really tough things? A dancing lunatic would be a good answer. Not sure why, but this bro came up on my doom scrolling, and I was intrigued. Now, here's the tricky part. I don't actually think it's all that tricky, but he shrouds a lot of what he's doing in that he's breaking his fears, conquering his fears, and inspiring others to do the same. Now, this is a sweet sentiment. I get it. Cool, bro. However, when you start to contemplate, like I did, just for a little bit what he's doing, I kind of changed my perspective because what he's doing is really not all that impressive. He uses like Batman terms and more iconic characters to supplement his ideas and claims, I guess. And sidebar here, I don't know who needs to hear this, but just because you go to the gym and listen to some sad shit doesn't make you your anime hero or villain. It just makes you a weirdo who's fantasizing about being that anime villain or hero.
Weird.
But in saying that, it's as if he really does think that he is doing something impressive. Now, the dancing, sure, I can't do that the way he does that, but it's not that impressive, you know what I mean? Like, he's not doing anything that courageous outside of being a nuisance in public. I don't think putting yourself in front of a bunch of people in a gym who've probably just had a really hectic day or are starting a really hectic day, trying to decompress, practice, ritual of life. It's kind of like what we all do. We have the gym or walk or do something. It's a really helpful decompressant. They're probably listening to a favorite playlist, or if you're like me, you're cresting on the edge of full tears because, well, you feel inadequate. So in my opinion, this is just kind of rude when you put it into that perspective. I mean, he can frame it as in like, oh, I'm so strong, powerful, and doing a righteous thing, but it doesn't really seem that way. Like, this dude is just using these people, going through the motions as his props for the social media movement, quote unquote. Worst yet, this isn't something that's just subtle, right? This is like actually kind of ridiculous, aggressive movement. Like, the ground is shaking. You can tell because his tripod shakes as he stomps. That's how hard he's stomping. So in the video, it looks cool because there's music over it and stuff. But now imagine this with no music. Just silent gym, and everyone's trying to work out. It kind of gets weird. Not only that, but like people using the weight rack just end up getting confused, pulling their headphones out. And I would be too, if I'm being honest. Like, what the hell is happening? Dude is not well, Like, that's what I'm thinking initially, is like he's having an issue, a conniption of some sorts. But at least he's suppressing his behaviors to commercial gyms, right? Just a bit of harmless fun, maybe a few annoyed patrons at your local Lifetime or Planet Fitness. Wrong, f***o. Yeah, he's beating it up at fast food joints too, you bet your ass. And back up, how the hell did the lunk alarm not go off at Planet Fitness and this dude is jazzing around? I don't understand that either. I've had the lunk alarm go off on me just because I was wearing a tank top, like what's going on here? And I think the average comment on one of his posts is pretty accurate. Most don't want this, nor did they ask for it. And if it helps a few people online, was it really worth making several people uncomfortable? And with this one, in a mall, like there's kids all around. And I'm no softy, like I'm not going to be the guy that polices someone and tells them to stop doing what they're doing. We're just observing an idiot here, and I think it's kind of crazy. If I was the parent in this situation, I would not be a happy camper that a man is exposing himself in front of my children. Not that being shirtless is bad, but being shirtless in a public area, you don't really know what's happening. Like, people don't just take their shirt off randomly and start moving around in that really acrobatic way, and you don't know if the pants are coming off next. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit happens out there. And his caption for this post is even wilder.
Real truth coming. This one was the scariest one, hands down. Awful experience. I was so scared.
This one was scary. Yep, it's crazy. Continuing to monologue about his experience and how being a bitch is bad and fear is a liar. So instead of trying to redirect this into some alpha shit,
shut the f up.
Maybe we should look at this a little bit more realistically, through one of my lenses maybe. Let me, I guess, share some stories with you that are far more accurate to depict what he is trying to depict through doing this weird shit. I have cerebral palsy. It's mild, but I still have it, and it is absolutely debilitating because I'm a very active guy. I like to do a whole lot of stuff. You guys know I like to do motorcycles, Muay Thai, training weights, obviously, and a lot more. I've stepped on bodybuilding stages with non-disabled counterparts. I've won bodybuilding shows with non-disabled counterparts. I've joined the military, served for 8 years in a combat MOS, a 19 Delta Cavalry Scout, albeit doing awful things for my body that are not conducive to long-term functionality, like herniated discs in my back are climbing up my spine faster than I can climb into bed. It's kind of nuts. And then on top of that, fighting and training Muay Thai in Thailand with real fighters in a training camp, then continuing to show up day after day, even in America, going to training and trying to figure it out, even though, like, genuinely, I'm at such truly a disability. Like, I cannot move my body in other ways that people normally can. Hip mobility, foot functionality. I'm not going to show you my feet to prove my point, but it ain't easy. And when you're working with people who are literally trying to hurt you, yeah, you feel a little bit scared when you go do those things. Your mind tells you, hey, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I'm not going to do training today. Like, I'm not going to go lift the weights. What's the fucking point? Like, I'm not going to grow the muscle that other people would. Just because I don't have the ability, I don't have the capability or the skill set really that I've developed as of yet. It's just going to take more hours than the average person. Thanks to some gay ass disability. That's my life. That is fear. That is fear, and going above and beyond what your fear is continuing to do things that are very challenging and that you know you're not good at, so that inevitably you can get better over time. To show up and do something that your body knows you are bad at, that you know that you will suffer from, and it will most likely be costly, but you do it anyways. That is true denial of fear that would be beneficial. And you know how you can deny your fears? Subscribing to this channel. 62% of our returning viewers are not actually subscribed yet, which blows my mind. We're out here working tremendously hard for you, and you haven't even clicked the subscribe button. It's kind of an odd thing that YouTube really incentivizes creators to have people click the subscribe button. Really, it doesn't matter because the algorithm's going to show your content or not. Subscribers don't necessarily matter, but they like it. They really, really like it. They incentivize it. The biggest thing for me ultimately is not the subscriber count, but I have full-time employees. I have a full-time employee named Michael who works for me to help produce this content. It's really awesome. I put that dude through so much work, and it's honestly crazy how many videos he has to edit, content pieces he has to change around because I stutter and he borderline autism, I don't know. But he helps me come up with ideas and all sorts of things. And if the one thing I could do was make Michael a wealthy man, honestly, that would be critically important to me. Like, so important.
Thank you, kind sir.
Anyway, subscribe, and you might get a Bugatti too. But you already know that if you've been here, and you've probably already subscribed. So, I don't know. Anyways, this isn't fear, okay? This is just dancing in a public space, being a moron. And what's crazy about this is it's not the feeling of fear. It's the reasoning that he has, his own logic that he might not want to do something because it's too far out of place for society. And he might be thinking, well,
no one wants to fit into society, and societal norms are important.
okay, I get what you're thinking. I have tattoos all over my body. I do all sorts of crazy shit. I don't fit into society. But what I'm talking about is being so belligerently out of society that no one likes you. That's not good. Which, as far as public relations go, if you're looking to create a movement where people can follow you, be motivated at a mass level, being significant means that you also should not be too far out of place. What he's describing is not the denial of fear, very clearly. It is the denial of his own logic and critical thinking. And people often do mess these two up, right? The fear of doing something that's going to push you forward is a strong feeling, but the fear of doing something because it might actually be a bad thing to do adds kind of the same feeling in a certain sense, but two different outcomes. I mean, the other is literally just this. I mean, the guy in this video has to stop his set to be like, what's going on? Take out his headphones and is just blatantly confused. And of course, as this started to pop off on social media, in which inevitably it was going to do because the more radical the actions, the greater the virality, he posts about coaching. Imagine that. And if you join him, you too will conquer your fears and be a better man for it. So yeah, this is Trevor, folks, a geared up dude talking about liberating his own fears by sacrificing other people's comforts in the modern day. I would love to hear your thoughts, but quite frankly, I think this is just misguided belief in oneself. I don't think this is any kind of logical way to motivate people to do things that are scary to them. In fact, I think it's just sort of this radicalized belief that what you're doing might be a good idea, and you reaffirm yourself so much that you actually start to believe that might be the case, but actually it's not. I'll catch you on the next video, all right?